Welcome to the latest episode of Focus On from the STIHL Workshop here. My name is Matt, thanks for stopping by. You've timed it well, because today we're turning our focus on STIHL's flagship product, the world famous chainsaws. 99 years of expertise have gone into these machines, and today Paul from STIHL Product Management is going to tell us everything we need to know about the most modern STIHL chainsaws. Paul, lovely to be working with you again, looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to talk about chainsaws today, particularly with nearly 100 years heritage, like you say, and with a #1 selling Petrol brand of chainsaw worldwide. So all focus is on how we get on with our battery powered lineup. We've got some really exciting insights in store today.
And that's what we want to talk about. Like you say, you do have that phenomenal heritage in petrol powered machines, but today it's all about the battery powered chainsaw. Just give us a brief overview. What are the key elements that are particularly important in a battery chainsaw?
Well, a lot goes into it. Of course, you need a powerful battery and a powerful motor, but that's not all of it. We need to consider things like chain speed and how fast the chain moves. We need to consider also feed pressure. So as you're going through the cut, how much feed pressure can be applied before the saw would bog down and stop in the cut.
Right.
And also the cutting attachments. The cutting attachments here, in this case, the bar and chain made by STIHL, are designed with a narrow kerf on the cutters on the chain to give a really smooth and efficient cut. So that's good for battery working time too.
So it's not just about putting a big battery in a big motor, it's about the sort of synergy of the different technologies, right?
Yeah, all those components working in harmony together to give a really good user experience overall.
Okay, no doubt impressive technology, but you do hear some sounding off saying the petrol powered machines are this and that, the battery powered machines are that and the other. Where do we stand on the comparison of the two technologies?
Well, of course, there's some battery skeptics out there whose minds are being changed as we bring out more and more tools. But of course, some people think that petrol powered machines are a lot more powerful. We have actually got a range of tools that offer comparable performance to some really powerful petrol models in the battery lineup. So those myths can be dispelled here today. But it's really, really important that we don't tell someone who's working in the forest all day long to go and take a battery tool there, because that's not really practical. You need a lot of battery. So it's still right to use a petrol powered tool for certain tasks, but there's really some great advantages for battery powered tools being lightweight, low vibration and low noise, which makes them really suitable for certain environments.
So that's what I'm hearing. It sounds like there are certain settings and applications where a battery powered chainsaw is just right.
Yeah, totally correct. So if you're working perhaps in a city where you need to remove and fell a tree, or working near schools, hospitals and places with people like in a customer's garden,
right,
then there's definite advantages to not disturbing people, not having a noisy chainsaw, petrol powered there. So there are certain settings where actually a battery powered machine is a lot better.
Okay, I'm dead keen to get started here. Talk us through what we've got here on the workbench.
Well, this is the MSA 220 battery powered chainsaw. It's a really good saw if you're doing landscape maintenance, removing small trees or young stands, but also a great saw to have by the chipper if you need to remove any branches that are a little bit too big to go through the chipper. So really, really nice, compact, lightweight chainsaw.
Different options I'm hearing. I like that very much. Talk to us about performance. What kind of power have we got here?
Yeah, so when we talk about cars, we talk about brake horsepower and kilowatts. So this machine here has 2 kilowatts output, mechanical output that is, and a 24 meters per second chain speed. So it's a very powerful saw, comparable to some of our petrol powered models as well. But it's not all about power, it's about the combination of power with a really nice cutting attachment. In this case, we've got a relatively new 3/8P PS3 Pro saw chain. So
easy for some to say, yeah.
Exactly that. But the really key thing about this cutting attachment is the narrow kerf of the cutting tooth.
What's the relevance there?
So with a battery saw, you want to make sure that you're taking out a small amount of wood to conserve battery life,
right,
or on a petrol machine for better performance as well. So this narrow tooth takes out a smaller amount of wood in the cut for more efficiency and a faster cut overall.
Lovely, thank you. That's performance. Thank you, Paul. What about runtime? How long can I work with this chainsaw?
Well, with the recommended AP300S battery, you can get up to 40 minutes working time, but there are many variables that could change that. So you need to make sure you've got sharp cutters in particular, sharp cutters on the saw chain, to make sure you've got a really efficient cut. But also, if you're cutting hardwood or softwood, that can change the working time. But we say around up to 40 minutes working time with that AP300S battery. But with that battery, we also get constant power, which is really important when it comes to chainsaws, that they're doing some really hard work. The constant power means that as voltage drops when you use the tool, which is natural with lithium-ion batteries, we up the amps to compensate, which means you can deliver constant power, in this case again 2 kilowatts.
Nice.
So you're not losing power as the battery depletes, and we covered that in our Focus on Battery video in a previous time, so it's worth checking that one out.
We did. Very good plug. Thank you for mentioning that. Check that video out. Also good. You mentioned the recommended battery that goes in this. When it's in, how much does the whole thing weigh?
Well, combined with the AP300S and MSA 220, that's 5.4 kilograms. So it's a really nice lightweight saw that's very, very capable.
Very nice. Tell us about the other features that this chainsaw has got.
Well, we've got plenty of really nice features that make working with it a lot more easy and simple. So first of all, we've got quick chain tensioning. So that means you can either remove a sprocket cover or just detension it, tighten your chain and then tension the sprocket back up again, so you don't need tools, you can just do that very simply yourself.
Very nice.
We've got your bumper spikes to help guide you through the cut, a transparent oil tank so you can see your oil level at all times.
That is clever. As you tilt it, I can see that moving. That's great, isn't it? Very helpful.
Exactly, and we have tuned the battery working time to the oil tank, so the battery will deplete before the oil tank is empty as well, so there's thought that's gone into that.
Absolutely.
You can fill that again. The oil tank has a tool-free oil cap on there as well, and then on the top here we've actually got our felling lines to guide you in the cut. So if you're felling a tree, you can control the direction of the cut and make sure it goes in the right place, which is really, really important.
Nice straight lines, very important. Very interesting indeed. Thank you very much for that, Paul. But I'm very excited about something that I see over your shoulder here. That chainsaw looks even bigger than that one.
Yep, let's swap the saws around and talk about it. So if you can get an AP500S battery there.
Will do. AP500S, there it is.
And here we have the new MSA 300.1, the new version of our most powerful battery-powered chainsaw in the STIHL lineup.
Exciting
comparable
stuff.
in performance to the Petrol MS261. So a really, really exciting machine that's capable of felling and also tree maintenance tasks. So it's a really, really good machine.
Right, you already mentioned the key word there, performance. Talk to us about the performance of this chainsaw.
So if I put the battery in, we can take a quick look at the display here. So I'm just lighting up that with a presence control. So we have 3 different operating modes on here. So we've got eco mode, 20 meters per second chain speed for your smaller tasks. If I press the button again, I can go into the standard mode, middle mode there, 24 meters per second chain speed, which is best suited to felling and doing your felling cuts to make sure you're in control of the machine when you're doing those really accurate cuts.
Yep.
If I press the button again, I can go into top speed, which is 30 meters per second, and that's most suited to your felling or delimbing when the trunk is on the ground, so you can quickly go up the tree and remove those trunks where a faster chain speed is best suited to that particular function.
Got it, very nice, easy to see as well. 2 other potential lights at the top here, right?
Yeah, of course, we've got our oil sensor. That's another option with the MSA 300. So there's an oil sensor to remind you that your oil tank is depleting, so you're not caught without oil in the tank. Most people are used to filling the oil tank in sync with the petrol tank as well. As we've got battery power, we've got a little light on there.
So should somebody forget something, then the light goes on and I'm reminded of it.
Exactly that. Then we've got our temperature sensor. That's a warning light in case the saw gets too hot. Or we've also got the presence control. So when it's green, it's live and ready to go. The red light is actually active here because the chain brake is on. So once the chain brake is pulled in, that saw would be ready to go.
Okay, you're taking the battery out there. Together with the battery and the chainsaw, what kind of weight are we talking about?
Well, with the recommended AP500S battery, it's a system weight with the recommended cutting attachment, bar and chain, 7.6 kilograms.
Okay.
But it's really important on this machine that we've got a robust build, as this is a commercial grade machine and it's going to be put through its paces by a professional user. So we have lots of magnesium components as well as polymer covers on here as well. So we've got a magnesium sprocket cover and magnesium motor housing, and still have a magnesium casting facility ourselves. So we've been making magnesium components for many machines, such as the MS261, a comparable machine to this, has a magnesium crankcase. So we've got the same magnesium technology, which is lightweight and strong, on the MSA 300.1 as well.
So we're talking about professional equipment here, right, which has to be strong and stable and durable.
Precisely that.
So how many of these would I need if I was out in the forest working?
Well, there's lots and lots of different variables, such as the size of a timber and what you're actually doing with the timber, whether it's cut to length or just left as is. But as a general guidance, we have the 4-2-1 rule.
4-2-1?
Yeah, so that's you could fell 4 spruce or beech trees. So that's fell and delimb with 2 batteries and 1 oil tank. 4 trees, 2 batteries, 1 oil tank.
Okay.
But there are, of course, many, many different variables, such as the type of wood and the sharpness of the cutters, and then what you're doing with that timber as well.
Of course, but we can certainly get something done with this kind of technology.
Yeah, you most definitely can.
And then it would be nice if you give us a tour of the other features of this model.
Yeah, of course. So this MSA 300.1 has anti-vibration on there to isolate the user's hands from the motor there, so it's more comfortable to use for longer periods.
Very nice.
We also have, if I take the scabbard off there, the RS Pro chain, 0.325 in size, and also the Light 04 bar for a lightweight bar, which is the same combination we use on our MS261 Petrol forestry chainsaw as well. So it's the same bar and chain combination on both machines. I'd already mentioned the magnesium sprocket cover, but this one has a really nice geometry to help you roll it over the tree when you're snedding or taking off the limbs of the tree.
Right.
And you've got captive nuts in that sprocket cover. So when you're tensioning your chain or perhaps changing your chain if you need to, you undo the sprocket nuts and they don't fall on the floor. They're captive
excellent.
And so stay connected.
Very good idea. I like it.
Of course. So you've got the curved geometry I mentioned, but also geometry on the bottom to allow you to roll that across the tree or move it across the tree without snagging too.
Yeah.
Then on the other side here, we have your oil reservoir with a toolless cap on there as well.
Again,
so
no need to get a tool out. Good,
exactly,
I like it.
on that side there. And of course, your metal bumper spikes to help your control within the cut too.
Ergonomic, right? I'm feeling, very user-friendly.
Yep, there's a lot of thought into the things that we've put into this machine.
Really interesting stuff, Paul. Thank you very much, sir. Finally, today, to wrap it up, the subject of service and support. What areas can we get help with if we need them?
Well, of course, all components on the chainsaw that we've seen today are all replaceable. So if something goes wrong and you need to replace an individual component, you can absolutely do that.
Right.
But the tools have been designed to be easy to work on too, not only for the dealers, but also for the users themselves. So a good example here is the air filter cover, just on the side of the machine here. If I need to access the air filter, I can take the cover off really, really easily with one screw, and then take the air filter off there, and make sure that's nice and clean and you're getting air through to the motor to keep it cool during the work it's being put through.
That really was easy, wasn't it? One screw and you're in.
Precisely that.
Excellent. And should I need support if I've got some kind of question or we need maintenance or whatever?
Oh yeah, of course. We have a wide network of STIHL approved dealers who are always happy to help with spares, support and service. But as a little extra helping hand for service, we have a space here on the back of the machine for a Smart Connector 2A, which is part of our STIHL Connected Fleet Management System. So this, the Smart Connector 2A plugs into the module of the machine and measures the working time of the tool.
Excellent.
So it sends it through to the app and then gives you maintenance recommendations based on that working time of the tool. So after a little while, it might tell you to clean out your air filter and then perhaps some more complex tasks a little bit further as that time builds up. And you can, of course, do those yourself or get the help of your local STIHL approved dealer for it as well.
So quite literally a smart chainsaw.
Precisely that.
Brilliant stuff today, Paul. Thank you very much indeed. I learned something, but I pretty much always do in these sessions.
You're very welcome.
And thank you also to you. We hope you enjoyed it too. We hope there was something there for you. Let us know in the comments down below what was of particular interest to you. Don't forget, of course, to ring that bell and subscribe, and then you will know the next time some focus on material drops. But until then, I would say on behalf of Paul and me and from everyone else here in the workshop, thanks for stopping by. Look after yourselves. Take care.